Hello everybody, hope you're doing really well. Today we are at RAF Detling and I'm quite excited because I've never done this before, but I'm very well aware of it. This is some air raid shelters in RF Detling, just a couple mines, so nothing extensive, but I'm going to take a look. It looks a little bit sketchy in terms of it's obviously overgrown and it's pretty much a ruin. There is an air raid shelter in the manufactured place behind us, the industrial estate, get it right now, but unfortunately I did speak to them and they are worried about health and safety. I'm not, because I'm just about to do this. So see you on the other side and let's go explore it. Come on. Some dead rodent. Nice. You know, see it all in this, don't you? Oh wow, another dead rodent. And there, everybody, is our exit. Very cool. Hello everybody. Not the easiest way to get down, but you know, I do like a tight squeeze. Can't make that sound any more dodgy if you try, could you? So we are in one of RAF Detling's air raid shelters, and there are a few that are left, but they are really in a poor condition. After this we will explore one which should be quite exciting to do. They're all of the same design, by the way, so we know that they're not anything different than this. We've seen these are what would be called sort of the box shape design, really. So the idea is that benches would be along sides. You've got, as with normal air raid shelters, you've got one entrance and an exit point here, escape hatch, escape shaft, whatever you want to prefer to sort of say. You know me, we've done so many of these that I like to sort of give you options, because some of you are a little bit, you know, picky on terminologies, and you can see that's been used as a sort of mound, really, for rubbish and stuff. Like I said, I've never been to these before. I know RF Detling really well, done the battle headquarters, and at one point in my youth of recording we were going to do the whole lot. There's amazing stuff, as you saw, like the aircraft hangar. There are cave spiders. Interestingly enough, they are not that side of the standard entrance. They are in fact my little pretties up here. There are some, they're not the biggest cave spiders, but I will jinx that. But you are lovely, aren't you? Because we're all friends now, remember? We've had a conversation. But yeah, concrete with steel lining mesh, basically a sort of box design like we sort of said before. Not uncommon. In fact, a really good example, done this on the channel, would be RF Penshurst in sort of the other side of Kent. Well, not the other side of Kent, West Kent sort of side. Very similar design. We've seen them all over the place. In fact, I'm trying to figure out what we've done. I've done so many of these, I'm trying to think. That was the first one that came to mind. But yeah, RF Detling, everybody, and we are not too far away from where the airfield would have been. But what is pretty strange is we've seen, unfortunately, a couple of dead carcasses of unknown animals that, for whatever reason, and I say for whatever reason, couldn't get out or been injured, I don't know. There's one there. If you like looking at your carcasses, worried that they look like dogs. Christ, don't say that. Bigger conspiracy there. There's a body there of one. Answers on a postcard, everybody. I will probably show my mum that she's an expert on stuff like that. So, as you can see, we've come down, a little bit sketchy, concrete top, again nothing uncommon, brick sidings on the left and the right. Originally would have been steps, and originally there would have been like a gantry point. It's quite nice to note this because in the industrial estate, as I mentioned, although they wouldn't allow me or anybody access, actually, I've spoken to them due to health and safety. It's exactly the same, so you sort of know exactly what you're looking at. Obviously, this would have been used farmers' uses. In front of us, toilet. So steps, walk down, entrance into air raid shelter, toilet, probably a courtesy blanket with a disposable toilet just there. Really primitive, basic design. The idea really, obviously, it's an air raid shelter with toilets. We sort of speak about it a lot. You don't really want to stay in here too long. And you can imagine the smell and everything else if you were, to do a number 2. There you go, I've said it. Been a bit gross, but hey, we need to cover these issues. But yeah, this is our air raid shelter. So like I said, benches on the sides and escape hatch that has seen obviously better days. I'll try and get up a little bit further, but I'm well aware that, as you can probably tell, there are cave spiders right above my head. But yeah, I'll take you out and show you that because I think it's important. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, yo. Bloody hell, you're a big one in that web. Okay. I told you we've all become friends now, so let's not fall out, cave spiders. Right, we've had a look. Let's get out of here. Come on. Oh, not looking forward to getting out of this one. But you're going to come along with me, right? Come on. Paint. Oh, you can't see that. Hang on. There we go. Paint. Dead animal. Oh dear. Let's get out. Come on. So everybody, this is our escape hatch. And it is very heavily overgrown. That's what you could see in there. A nightmare to attempt to go into that. And obviously, thankfully, we managed to go into the entranceway, because otherwise that would have been really, really tricky to get into. And it's quite deceptive because the way that that's formed doesn't look like an escape hatch. It just looks like a sunken section. But very, very cool. What we're now going to do is we are going to take a look at the air raid shelter that's buried within a castle. Let's take a look. Hello everybody. So it's not often you get to say that we are now going to explore probably one of my favourite things to have explored. Now again, I'm very well aware of RF Detling, as I sort of mentioned, and this is a first for me. I've always wanted to do this one. This is an air raid shelter for RF Detling, but what makes it really special and really unique is it's actually buried within a Norman Motte and Bailey castle. Now, as far as I'm aware, that might be a first. It's definitely a first for me. I'm not sure how many normal air raid shelters are built in former Norman Motte and Bailey castles, but I think it's a really brilliant thing. And obviously, although it's special for RF Detling, it's actually even more crazy that it is just buried right with it. That mound is the motte of what would have been Bimbury Castle. Cool, isn't it? Should we go and take a look? Let's. Okay, everybody, let's take a look. I'm really excited. Here we go, everybody. Fortunately, I was prepared and I've bought Wellingtons. Here we are. One of the cleanest air raid shelters you will probably see. It's strange really, because Like I said, I know RAF Detling really well and always hit back on trying to do a proper video on it. And if you're old enough to remember, we did do the RAF Battle headquarters, which is sadly no longer here. But this is buried into a Norman castle. So let's just put that out there into context. How cool is that? Escape hatch. There we go. Which is really clean. Now if you compare that to our first one we went into, amazing. The air raid shelter built into a Norman castle, namely RAF Detling, and it is flooded, but it's clean. I'm sure a lot of you people from Kent, explorers and stuff, have probably visited these, but sadly, to my shame, because it was on my list of things to do, I held back, because that's what I do on this channel, don't I? If it's easy, if it's accessible, best to hold back to the appropriate moment. But look at this. I mean, to think phase-wise, you know, we're in a Norman Montbellier castle. Crazy. So obviously on the left here would have been the toilet. Little blanket, probably like I said, courtesy blanket, quite possibly. Normally you'd find your toilets at the entrance, disposable toilet. Might not have been, but we always have to assume that with that wall and that little recess, that was normally quite possible. We've seen that on lots really. So, but like I said before, you're not really going to spend too long down here, are you? Although RAF Detling had been attacked, so yeah, we know these air raid shelters were actually in use, which is even more crazy to think. Very cool though. Very, very cool. Again, exactly the same design. That's it. Wellington's needed. Right, I think we've taken a look. Let's head out. Well everybody, wasn't that really cool? Like get to sort of tick that off the list now. Also, as a recording, depending on when this comes out, we've also done Bimbury Manor as well, which I'm really excited to obviously show you depending again when that comes out. That was RAF Detling's air raid shelters. Like I said, the only one that we missed out on really from memory is the one, like I said, the industrial estate, which none of us are allowed to access. But it would have been the same design as his other two. The only thing I missed out on was going around to the escape hatch on the one that was buried in the castle. That's just because it's actually really overgrown around that side again, as you can sort of expect. But that was really cool. We've got to say, forget RF Detling for a second, we've got to say that we've managed to explore an air raid shelter that was built within a castle. Pretty damn cool, right? In the immortal words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with me. I really hope you enjoyed that. I'm very muddy now, and I don't really want to turn around because it looks like there's mud everywhere on my back and my arse. So picture that for yourselves, everybody, that romantic image that I've just put in your heads. Take care. And in more words of Phoenix history, because history matters, and it just bloody well does, doesn't it? Feel free to spread the word of the channel. It really goes a long way for me. It just means that I feel more motivated to keep doing this, beyond my passion of obviously historical exploration, and more importantly to get all of you lot out there whenever possible off your butts and checking out your own local history. Today, that's what I've done. I'm only about 20 minutes away, and again, it's just slowly building up those sections of RF Detling's amazing history. Like I said, you probably saw the RF hangar as well, which is pretty cool, and all that stuff anyway. Like I said, the focus today was really about the air raid shelters in their own right, and the one that was buried in our amazing Norman Montbellier Castle, Bimbury Castle. Take care, everybody. Much love to all of you out there, and I will, of course, see y'all very soon. You ready? Hell yeah. Kapow. See ya. I'm not going to show you my arse. Very muddy.